virtual presentation. I'm Zhu Qianglu. I'm here to present our work, B-VLLM, a vision language model with balanced spatial-temporal tokens. The motivation behind our work is we noticed that VLMs itself is quite inefficient in handling long video. It comes with two reasons. First, if VLMs themselves are super big, for a 7 billion model, it usually takes like 12 gig of memory to load just the model, assuming that the model is loaded in BF16 and there is no quantization. Another problem is handling long video is another heavy job. The amount of memory it required it required is typically proportional to the duration of a video fed to a VLM. That means when it comes to handling long video, VLM they typically takes a long time and a lot of GPU memory to finish the task. The reason behind that is because I personally believe is the tokenization in image and video is not as efficient as the textual tokenization. For example, uh, 4 character can be approximated by one token, but one image it typically encoded into 200 or 500 token, and the video would result in even more token. So when it comes to a modern VRM, we quite often see a video or high resolution image will return into 10K tokens. Um, there are, in fact, two mechanism or common strategy to mitigate this problem. The first part on the left-hand side is the one that do nothing. So we basically hope for the best that the GPU can handle the entire video, but it quite often uh, neither because the either because the GPU memory limitation or the context window, and eventually part of the video will be missed by the VRM, and therefore it answers our question incorrectly. Another strategy is called uniform sampling. The the key idea behind this strategy is no matter how long the video is, we basically sample a fixed number of frame and pass it to VRM. But the problem of this strategy is it often miss the key frame, like the part that relevant to our question. So eventually the VRM still answers our question incorrectly. A simple idea to this problem is we probably can say we have a magical and lightweight solution that can rate the relevancy of each frame to the to a given text prompt. We can basically just focus on those frames that are relevant to the question and focus on this frame or pass this frame to VRM. That can save us a lot of GPU memory and a lot of time. So here's a high-level abstraction to our architecture. So we have a lightweight frame sampler that takes the long video as input and the text prompt as input. It rate the relevancy between each frame and a given text prompt, and it filter out those irrelevant frame and only keep those frames that is related to the question and pass it to VRM. The next part of our design is we notice that even for image, we don't have to handle all this image token. We can just focus on the relevant part. For example, the question asks, what's the color of the globe? So we we can crop out the this region by with using a sampler and pass the vision token of this in this region to VRM to further reduce the compute resource requirement. So adding these two up, we have frame sampler that focus on filter out those irrelevant frame, and a spatial sampler that further filter out those irrelevant spatial tokens. And eventually, our method can only use very small number of token to answer the question without any problem. Here's the performance. The bonus of our design is we notice that now our method with the integration of our method, we can support one frame rate per second. And our method allows us to control the computing budget. And you may notice that this one is a plug and play design. So if you're interested in our work, please check out our GitHub page and our paper. And thank you for your